Hello and welcome back to Crypto Saving Experts, where we talk about the latest cryptocurrency news and take a look at the markets so that we all know exactly what is happening. My name is Jess. We do these live streams every single weekday, so if you are new here, please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. Let's take a look at what's going on in the news right now. Take a look at the price of Bitcoin first of all. We have Bitcoin sat up 1.11% in the last 24 hours at $26,030. We also have Ethereum up by 0.3% today, up to $1,754. So we have seen a slight move to the upside in these two. Nothing much though in terms of the rest of the markets. We've not really seen too much movement within the last 24 hours. We did before this though. We have seen a lot of movement over the weekend. Some altcoins have really took a battering in the last couple of days because of these lawsuits with Binance and the SEC, and because of all of these exchanges choosing to delist many different cryptocurrency assets right now, and that's causing a lot of fear in the cryptocurrency industry. It's actually been a pretty crazy weekend and last couple of days because things have been moving so different to how they usually move. Typically, if we see a drop in the market, Bitcoin goes first and the rest of the altcoins tank, and they tank with a bit more volatility. So we could see Bitcoin fall 10% and altcoins bleed 30%. But what we've seen here is Bitcoin's still above that $26,000 level, whereas the altcoins are bleeding anyway. Bitcoin's not really seeing too much movement to the downside, and the altcoins are taking the biggest hit from this. And this is because of the reasons why they're dumping. So they're dumping. Well, actually, we're going to get onto this in the video, so let's not ruin it too much. Let's take a look at the articles. We will get into more detail about that in a second. So, lawsuits against Coinbase and Binance have listed certain assets and cryptocurrency assets as securities, and because that is the case, that means that different platforms are now delisting all of these tokens. Now, the creators of these projects are saying, look, these aren't securities, but because of the lack of regulation and clarity within the US, there's a debate to be had there, and now these assets are getting delisted from many exchanges, spreading fear amongst its investors, and many are choosing to sell and to get out of these assets. Before we continue, before we get on with today's cryptocurrency news, please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell notification button. We greatly appreciate it. We are trying to grow the channel to 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and we need your help to do so. So please make sure to hit that like button and leave us a comment below as well. Let's ask a question of the day. What do you think? We'll have a competition here. What do you think the price will be this time next week? Monday's live stream next week. What do you think the price of Bitcoin will be? Let me know in the comments. Interesting one here because it's going to be a very volatile week. We've got a whole article on what's to come this week at the end of today's stream, so make sure to stay tuned until the end. It's going to be a volatile one. It's one I'm looking forward to. We did have a bit of a sad week in the cryptocurrency industry last week, so I'm excited to see what this week will bring, and there's loads of events happening. So let's take a look at the news anyway, and then we'll get on to that. So US senators want Department of Justice to investigate Binance's business practices. So there's really big differences here between what's happening with Coinbase and what's happening with Binance, and I don't think this has been made clear very often. So both have been sued and have been accused of offering unregistered securities, meaning that some cryptocurrency assets and altcoins are securities which have not registered as securities. Now, this is because there's lack of clarity between determining whether an asset is a commodity or a security. This is an ongoing debate within the cryptocurrency industry, and a problem that we are all aware of and have been aware of for a long time, and a problem that Coinbase's CEO Brian Armstrong has been trying to battle with in the last couple of months. That lack of clarity between the categories of these altcoins is what's caused all of these problems in the first case. Both Coinbase and Binance have been accused of offering unregistered securities and operating as an unregistered securities exchange. However, Binance has also got extra problems. So Coinbase is really down to the lack of clarity. That's what that lawsuit is about. In terms of Binance's, it's also that they are not separating Binance.com and Binance US correctly, that their funds are getting mixed up, and they have these extra problems that they need to face within this with the SEC and this what's going on here. So let's take a look at this. The senator said Binance may have lied about its business relationship with its American affiliate. So its American affiliate is Binance US, and the original is just Binance.com. So US Senators Elizabeth Warren and Chris Van Hollen have asked the Department of Justice to investigate whether Binance, the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, misled lawmakers about its business practices So it's meant to be completely separate entities, and if it's not, that is a huge, huge problem. So this is a serious matter, they've said. It appears that Binance and Binance.us undermine this important investigation and the legislative process by providing false and misleading information to Congress. So Binance told Warren, let's get into the thing, in March, that it was a separate entity from Binance.us when the senators had asked for information on their relationship to Congress's legislative process, and the senators accused Binance of being a hotbed of illegal financial activity. They requested the exchange's financial data from 2017 and documentation of its anti-money laundering policies and procedures. So Binance have also been accused of letting some US citizens bypass this problem. So Binance.us has more, it doesn't have as many features as Binance.com, and that's because of the regulation of cryptocurrency in the US. They can't offer US citizens as many services as they can to non-US citizens. That's why we have these two separate entities, because that means Binance.us can operate in the region. They can't operate at Binance.com in the US. With that, we have the two different entities. But Binance have been accused of letting high profile and people with lots of money in the US bypass that problem and just continue to use Binance.com. So that's the real debate that's been going on here. That's the additional problem that Binance are facing that Coinbase is not facing. So we can see here Binance faces SEC lawsuit. So that's what's been going on within the last couple of weeks. It's been it's been absolute chaos within the cryptocurrency industry. And we've seen more involvement with the SEC and different cryptocurrency assets as well. Before we continue with this article, let me know if you're a Cardano fan in the chat. Anyway, Cardano was actually the first cryptocurrency I ever invested in many, many years ago. It treated me well. I did unfortunately sell at a very, very low price because I was not wise on the cryptocurrency industry at all. But we've learned since then. I did reinvest and make some nice profits from Cardano in the bull market. But obviously now it has taken a bit of a battering. Let's take a look at Cardano over on CryptoSavingExpert.com and see what the price is here. So it's up 4.22% in the last 24 hours, but it is down in terms of trading volume. Let's take a look at this. We can see it's taken a big dump, but it has started to move up this morning. In fact, let's have a look at what's happening here. I bought some Matic yesterday. I'd be interested to see what's going on there. If you are interested in staying up to date with your portfolio on CryptoSavingExpert.com, make sure to go to CryptoSavingExpert.com. Just search your tokens at the top there, and you will get access to all of this information. It's rank in terms of market cap. It's market cap, 24-hour volume. You also get the price charts here. And we've got the indicators at the bottom as well for all of the different time frames. So make sure to check this out. Crypto Saving Expert is the one-stop shop for crypto. You don't need to use any other website when you sign up to this, and it is all absolutely free as well. Even Matic's seen a little bit of a bounce as well. It did go all the way down to 50 cents. That is not a price level that I managed to take advantage of. I'm interested to see how these altcoins will perform. Now, they are getting taken off many different. What's happening here is, as I said earlier in today's video, many different assets have actually been named as securities when Coinbase and Binance have been sued within the last week. And naming those assets has been the first time that we've seen some sort of distinguished thing between the two. So when in the US, we determine whether an asset is a security or a commodity using the Howey test, which was created in 1946. I say this all the time on the stream, so sorry if you listen every day, you might get bored of this part of the stream, but we'll get back to the good stuff in a second. So there's that test is 4 rules. It's if an asset meets the 4 conditions of the Howey test, it's a security. If it doesn't, it's a commodity. But that test was made in the 1946. So if we get a test from 1946 and try and put it on this new industry, it just does not work. And there's a lack of clarity there. What we are fighting for in the cryptocurrency industry is we do want regulation, and we want clarity on that regulation. Coinbase and Binance don't want to have to take a load of assets off their exchange because they've been accused of offering unregistered securities. They want to operate in the region. They want to have users within the US, so they want to follow that regulation correctly. They don't want all of this negative press, and they don't want all of these problems, because it means users will move away from the site, and that's how they create revenue. They need their users. They need that increase in users, and they need people to be trading on their platform. So when we see these problems, this is not something that cryptocurrency industry does not want. A lot of people think cryptocurrency users don't want regulation. That's not what we're saying. We just want clarity on regulation so we can understand it, and we can learn how to continue continue to grow with that regulation. But so far what we are seeing in the US is we don't have that clarity, and they're just enforcing different, like they're just suing left, right and centre, and that's how we're getting that clarity, instead of them saying, look, we have this new test. If an asset fits this category, it means it's this. And if an asset does this, it means it's that. And splitting them into the two categories very, very clearly. But now it's just a blurred line. And that is the problem that we are facing within the cryptocurrency industry. Now, how we are getting that clarity is that they are just suing, and we're looking at the what they're saying and trying to distinguish what they're thinking from that. So it's really a guessing game for us right now. It's not an easy process. So we can see here that Cardano Development Company dismisses SEC's classification of ADA as a security. We've seen this from other tokens as well that have been named in the filings by the SEC, which have named many different cryptocurrency assets as securities. As this happens, many different platforms are delisting these tokens, causing the prices to fall even further. So we are keeping an eye on this. Here, it is a chaotic week to be in crypto, but it is an exciting one. If you are new here, please don't forget to like and subscribe and press the bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. We do this every single weekday, so make sure to hit like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it, because we spend a lot of time on these live streams and it'd be good to share them with more people. If you press like, if you press subscribe, if you go over to our YouTube channel and press that bell notification button, you are helping grow the platform. We'll have more conversations in the live chats every single day. We'll get pushed to more users, and we might entice other people to get involved in cryptocurrency as well and help drive cryptocurrency adoption, which is what we are all after. Let's take a look what else is going on in the cryptocurrency news here. So Robinhood to delist and end support of ADA, Matic and Sol on the 27th of June. Now this is what I was just talking about. A lot of different tokens right now are being delisted from many different cryptocurrency exchanges because of them being named in the filings from the SEC. Regulation by enforcement is what is seeming to be happening here. And we are going to see many platforms follow suit because they don't want filings against them by the SEC. Robinhood does not want to be next in line. They are trying to comply with all of the regulation as much as they can. So just like Coinbase and Binance were, Coinbase had literally created a petition to try and get clarity on the regulation, and now they're being sued for not having that clarity and for trying to determine what the SEC means without the SEC actually saying this is what we mean. The SEC have made it really difficult for cryptocurrency companies to comply, and now they're suing them for not complying, even though Coinbase has been crying out for this regulation. Make it make sense. It's so frustrating. So now we can see, obviously, they've gone after the two biggest cryptocurrency exchanges in the US in the last week, and now all of the more traditional trading platforms, Robinhood is more a stock-based trading platform, are following what's happening in these lawsuits and delisting the tokens mentioned. But let's take a look at the next one here, because we also see that Matic risks losing 50 cents due to trading firm's $9.8 million token transfer to Coinbase and Binance. So Polygon's 50 cent support could fail due to selling pressure caused by trading firm Cumberland's $9.8 million transfer of Matic tokens to Coinbase and Binance. Now the digital asset is yet to find a flaw after the SEC classified it as an unregistered security. But what we are seeing here, all of these tokens that have been listed as a security in these filings have dropped by over 20% in the last day and over 30% during the week. And this was posted, when was this article? 1 day ago. So from Saturday, this is where we saw that real piece of volatility. So according to on-chain analytics firm Look On-Chain, crypto trading firm Cumberland carried out the $9.8 million token transfer of Matic, and the Look On-Chain team further noted that the transfer of the Matic tokens was responsible for the digital assets 29% drop in a day. So we can see that we get a lot of fear here. And this is the beauty of transparency on the blockchain. We can see when transactions are taking place, and we can see, look, we might have some selling pressure coming our way. If companies are moving their tokens onto centralized exchanges, there's a chance that they are looking to transfer that and trade it into a different asset. So we need to keep an eye on that. But let's take a look at the next one here. Before we do, we have 21 people on today's stream and only 14 likes. So please make sure to hit that like button. Even if you're going to leave the stream, hit the like button before you go. It really helps us grow the channel. We are trying to get to 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and we need your help to do so. So please make sure to hit that like. Let's take a look at the next article here. So we can see this is what we've been talking about all stream. We don't really need to go over this, but you can see Matic, Solana, Cardano, Filecoin, and Sandbox all fall over 20% as the SEC's securities classification sinks in. And this did take a while to sink in. It wasn't an immediate effect on the markets. Our tokens were holding pretty strong for the first couple of days, and then it really hit us what was really happening. And we can see these tokens did move to the downside on that screenshot there of the Crypto Saving Expert website. As I was saying, if you haven't checked out the Crypto Saving Expert website yet, what are you doing? It's the best cryptocurrency website out there. It's your one-stop crypto shop. It has everything you need to know about crypto. We've got the latest news. We've got cryptocurrency guides if you want to learn about how to set up different software or hardware wallets, or if you want to learn how to set up different cryptocurrency exchanges, both centralized and decentralized. Check out the guide section. We've got loads more in there as well about taxes, lots of things to look at there. And then we've got free cryptocurrency courses. All you need to do is press that big blue sign up button. I'm pointing at the screen as if you can see what I'm looking at. This big blue sign up button here, if you press this and then you create an account for free, you get access to really reliable cryptocurrency courses. And as I've been saying in these streams, when I first got into crypto, I felt like I was so out of my depth. It was so hard to know where to start. It's really changed. Investing has really changed in the last couple of years, because it used to be that information, you had to go and find it. But now it feels like information is constantly thrown at your face on all of the different social media platforms. TikTok constantly throwing information at you, and it seems to have got to a point where there's just so much information out there you don't know where to look. So we've created a structured learning plan for people new to crypto and for people that have been in crypto for a while and want to further their knowledge. On the Crypto Saving Expert website, it just makes it clear when you've got that structured learning plan. You don't get blindsided, because there's always so much information thrown at you if you use other platforms, and it's all free. So why not try it out? And then we also have the markets there as well, which is like a competitor to CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko. We've got the latest cryptocurrency prices. We've got some indicators there. We've got the market caps. We've got all the information you need to know about the tokens in your portfolio. And then we have the encyclopedia, where we talk about every single word in crypto defined, and a full article on it as well. And we've been kitting that out more within the last couple of weeks as well, so make sure to check that out. A lot of work has gone into this website, so I urge you to take full advantage of it. Why not? It's all free. So let's take a look here. New EU banking rules place crypto in maximum risk band. So the European Parliament is negotiating new EU banking rules that would allocate the maximum risk to crypto assets and discourage banks from holding crypto. Now, we've seen that change in regulation in the US. Well, not change. We've seen them start to enforce some problems in crypto in the US. The regulation, the SEC have just gone after crypto, and we could expect that this is going to happen in other regions as well. The US has not been the first, and it will not be the last, unfortunately. We may see many other regulators following suit. It will be interesting to see how the XRP lawsuit plays out. This is something we've been talking about at Crypto Saving Expert. That is a really interesting situation right now, because it feels like we are, touch wood, sort of coming to the end of this lawsuit. It feels like there's some news on the horizon. Hopefully within this year we get a solution, we get the answer to what's happening with this lawsuit, and that will really set a precedent, and it will really show the SEC if XRP win, it could be very good, because it could show the SEC need to provide clarity, and they need to provide it now. Let's take a look at the next article though. So Crypto.com to end services for US institutional clients on the 21st of June. A lot of cryptocurrency companies are saying, look, we just can't operate in the region because we don't know what the SEC are doing next, essentially. So this comes after the SEC filed charges against Binance and Coinbase. Let's take a look at the next article here. We have SEC case against Binance delays S-Korea GoPax acquisition deal. So a South Korea regulator is monitoring the lawsuit's progress and has delayed accepting the business change report for the acquisition. So we need to keep an eye on that. But let's continue on to the next article here and see what is happening. So somebody has asked, we've got lots of questions in the chat today. Let's spend some time on the chat. Let's take a look at this. Steve Wright said industry should just leave the US, go somewhere it's wanted. And this is what could happen. We could see many different cryptocurrencies, like we've just seen with Crypto.com, say, look, we're just not operating in the US anymore. The regulation isn't clear, and we're not taking on that risk. And that just means the US is going to massively fall behind on the crypto adoption. And I imagine in a couple of years, they'll be trying to catch up very, very quickly. we'll see other regions take step forward, for example, Hong Kong, and really take the lead in cryptocurrency adoption. Now, obviously, it would be a real shame. We have a huge amount of cryptocurrency users in the US, so to see those users be removed from the ecosystem would just mean that we have to really try and push that adoption elsewhere to really make up for those losses as an industry. And obviously, it's unfortunate for those in the US, but we do have decentralized exchanges and things like this. But it is something that could happen within the next couple of weeks. We could see more of this like we've seen with Crypto.com. Let's take a look at this one. Jason Smith said, do you think this might be an opportunity to buy the dip? Now, I can't give financial advice. I did say earlier that I was buying the dip on some altcoins, but I can't say anything on that matter. Steve Wright said, buy the dip. I did with limit order. In hindsight, probably wouldn't advise with altcoins. Next move, I think, is SEC to sue named alt. Interesting one. The next moves from the SEC, none of us know at this point. They just keep throwing things at us. I'm interested to see what happens right now. I personally, obviously, I can't give financial advice, as I just said, but I personally am looking at the markets right now and I'm thinking, Bitcoin's holding pretty well right here. Bitcoin is still above $26,000 after what's going on. Now, I don't think we're going to, I had this conversation with a couple of crypto people over the weekend, actually. I don't think in terms of the markets, we are going to break the 4-year cycles. I believe in the 4-year cycles. All of my trust is in the 4-year cycles. So when I'm looking at the price of Bitcoin, I'm seeing that we have another, not year, what is it? We're in June now, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. 10 months to go until the Bitcoin halving. So I think that puts a kind of a cap on how much we can see upwards movement for Bitcoin within the next couple of months. And I think it could be a pretty slow end of the year, second half of the year. I think we could see some real sideways action and not really see too much movement. Now, in terms of the altcoins, if we see some movements with the SEC, if we see regulation change, obviously that's going to cause volatility. If we see them getting unlisted from cryptocurrency exchanges, that's going to cause volatility. And that is something that we can see isn't really affecting Bitcoin. People are holding Bitcoin for the long term at this point, but with the SEC, the regulators and with altcoins, the regulators can really impact the prices there. We don't know what's coming next from the SEC, but it will be an interesting year. Let's take a look at the next one. Scott Mills said, so what happens if you hold I can't see the end of this sentence. If you hold Matic on Coinbase, do I need to take it off? Now, I always say I don't hold anything on centralized exchanges. We never know what's going to happen. Look at FTX. Sam Bankman-Fried was the king of crypto, and now he is definitely not. I don't hold anything on centralized exchanges. Not your keys, not your crypto. We say that over and over again. We have many different guides on the Crypto Saving Expert website to teach you about how to practice how to hold your cryptocurrency safely. So we can even take a look at this now. If we go to the guide section here, you can see all of the different wallets. We've got hardware wallets, we've got software wallets, teaching you about the benefits as well within the stay safe section. You can learn how to best hold your cryptocurrencies and keep them safe, because we never know what's going to happen. In terms of like immediate effects right now, Coinbase is still operating as a cryptocurrency exchange. Coinbase have said they are not going to delist any of these tokens for the time being, but we don't know what's around the corner. The regulators may step in and get even more involved in this, but we will keep an eye on that, and we will keep updating you on this at cryptosavingexpert.com, and obviously on these live streams. We do these live streams every single weekday, so make sure, if you haven't already, to like and subscribe. Let's whiz through the rest of the cryptocurrency news, and then we'll get onto the price of Bitcoin, analyzing it and seeing what's really going on. So the European Consumer Group accuses TikTok and Twitter of facilitating misleading crypto ads. So if you're interested in that, take a look at that article. But let's move on to the next one now. North Korean Lazarus Group linked to Atomic Wallet hack. Now, Atomic Wallet hack was actually really shocking. So we had a hack later, early last week or the week before, potentially, the 6th of June. Several victim wallets unfollowed the trail left by the hackers. So what's happened here? Sorry, it was on the 3rd of June. The Atomic Wallet team disclosed they were investigating incidents of crypto being drained from Atomic decentralized wallets. Now we can see the hack is estimated to be around $35 million. Now, thanks to the transparency of a blockchain, we can watch where these funds are going. We can see that Elliptic have accused North Korean hackers Lazarus Group of being the exploiters of the wallet. Now, as I always say, we are in this industry pretty early. We are early to cryptocurrency, and when we are early to an industry, it's always going to have its faults. Nothing's perfect yet. We're still learning the best practice. We're still learning how to create different cryptocurrency wallets and make sure they are completely safe. When we are using cryptocurrency, we are trusting the code, and we can see here somebody has managed to take advantage of that exploit a bug within the Atomic Wallet code. And now that's a really sad situation, because we always say stay off centralized exchanges, use decentralized wallets, and Atomic Wallet had a really good reputation, and now some of those users have unfortunately lost their funds. But let's take a look at the next article here. So Uki DAO to shut down and pay a $634,000 fine after losing CFTC lawsuit. So the CFTC has won its lawsuit against the DAO after the latter failed to appear or respond to the court handling the case, and they have been ordered to shut down its operations and pay a $643,000 fine to the regulator. If you are interested in this project, make sure to go to cryptosavingexpert.com. Let's move on to the next one here. US government objects to Bitrex's customer repayment plan. So the US insists that Bitrex's motion should wait for confirmation of the bankruptcy plan when all creditor priorities are clearer. The US government has objected to a proposal by bankrupt crypto exchange Bittrex to return customer funds and liquidate its assets weeks after filing for bankruptcy. So it's more of a pause right now, keeping an eye on this. It's a premature plan, so objecting on the grounds of the critical vendor standard, the US government urges that it does not support the relief sought by Bittrex, as it is winding down its business with no desire to preserve any operations. So if you are interested in this article, as I said, make sure to check out cryptosavingexpert.com. Let's move on to the next one. We want to get onto the good stuff. We want to analyze Bitcoin. If you are waiting to see how Bitcoin is performing and see what technical analysis we are going to perform today, make sure to hit like and subscribe and press the bell notification button. We currently have 20 viewers on the stream right now, and we have 19 likes, 22 viewers right now. So if you're sat there and you haven't hit the like button, please hit like and subscribe. Let's take a look at this. The US Department of Justice charges 2 Russian nationals with the Mt. Gox hack. So Mt. Gox is the hack that happened in 2011. Roughly 647,000 Bitcoin were stolen. Now, Mt. Gox was a cryptocurrency exchange back in the day that was it controlled maybe like here we go. It was responsible for over 70% of all Bitcoin trades worldwide by early 2014. That was the scale of this exchange in comparison to the cryptocurrency market. And then it was hacked. A lot of people lost their funds, and people still haven't got their funds back to this day. It's been the longest lawsuit in cryptocurrency history. And we can see here that we have now got the US Department of Justice charging 2 Russian nationals for the Mt. Gox hack. So this is a massive move for this investigation. So they've been accused of conspiring to launder roughly 647,000 Bitcoins from the 2011 Mt. Gox breach in the Southern District of New York. So separately, one of them is charged in the Northern District of California with conspiring with him to run the illegal cryptocurrency exchange BTCE from 2011 to 2017. And the US District Judge has been appointed by the SDNY case, and the US District Judge has been assigned to the NDCA case. So this is a really interesting one. Everything about the Mt. Gox is just really interesting to me because it's just shocking what's happened and what's happened since and how slow everything has been. But we'll keep an eye on that. Let's take a look at the next article. We are running out of time. I've got a meeting at 1:30, so we've got to be quick here. Dubai court convicts 7 individuals involved in $2.7 million crypto scam. The group created social media ads promoting 3 Bitcoin investment companies and published videos encouraging people to invest their money. So if you are interested in that, take a look at the website cryptosavingexpert.com. Let's move to the next one. BitGo set to expand crypto custodial services with Prime Trust acquisition. We also have Vitalik Buterin and Polygon's Nail Wall to donate $100 million to COVID-19 research projects. And now we have the article we should be discussing today. Why this week could be huge for crypto. Let's take a look at this one very, very closely. So on Tuesday, tomorrow, major milestones will be reached in legal cases involving the SEC, Ripple Labs, Coinbase, and Binance. A House of Representatives committee will also meet on Tuesday to discuss the future of digital assets in the US. So key inflation data will be published this week, and the outcome of the June Federal Reserve meeting on Wednesday is expected to be bullish for the markets. So Let's take a look at what the key events are this week to watch out for. This is a really useful article. If you haven't already, go to cryptosavingexpert.com. In fact, I'll put the link for this article in the chat. You need to take a look at this, put all of the events in your calendar, and be ready to see some volatility this week. This is why I'm so excited to see some volatility within the markets. I don't think it's going to be a dull week in crypto. So we have, first of all, on the 6th of June 2023, the US Court of Appeals for the Third Circuit ordered the SEC to submit a letter answering Coinbase's request for regulatory clarity. Basically, Coinbase have created a petition. They want regulatory clarity for the cryptocurrency industry. The SEC did not respond, and now the US courts have said you need to respond. You have 7 days to respond. So that was on the 6th of June, so they need to respond by the 13th of June, giving them until tomorrow. So the SEC must also explain why the case shouldn't be overseen in court and why they cannot provide Coinbase with the requested updates. So that's a really interesting one tomorrow. Massive move for regulation in the US tomorrow. We can also hear on Tuesday, the SEC will present its emergency petition to the US District Court for the District of Columbia for a temporary restraining order to freeze Binance.US funds. And that is what they are trying to do there. Tomorrow, honestly, is a very volatile week. You should be tuning into this live stream tomorrow. Make sure to go onto YouTube, press like, subscribe, and press the bell notification button so you can hear what's going on tomorrow. It's going to be a really interesting day. We also have let's take a look at what else is going on here. The US House of Representatives Committee Future of Crypto meeting. So on Tuesday at 2 p.m. ET time, the Committee on Financial Services will meet to discuss the future of digital assets, providing clarity for the digital asset ecosystem. Something we are all crying out for. They will hear and debate how the SEC and the CFTC have been using enforcement action to find resolutions to classify crypto assets as securities or commodities based on outdated criteria, such as the Howey test. That's the test that was discussed at the start of today's stream, that was created in 1946, I believe. Far too early, and something that just does not work on this new industry. Let's take a look at what else is happening this week. So documents central to Ripple's case against SEC to be unsealed, and this will be on Tuesday. We have discussed this. The SEC did not want these documents to come out. We're talking internal emails, internal documentation. This is all going to be released to the public on Tuesday, and we're going to get a real insight in what the SEC is really doing with this lawsuit against Ripple. Very exciting news there. We are also getting the inflation data tomorrow. It's a big day tomorrow. So the CPI will be based on changes in the cost of goods and services over time and represent inflation in the US. So big day. So we can see here Tuesday's data is forecast to bring annual inflation to 4.1% and core inflation to 5.3%, well above the Fed's target of 2%. But we have seen a massive move to the downside because it was incredible. I think it was at 9.1%, I believe, at its peak. So on Wednesday, more news, the producer price index data for May will be published. And then we also have the Federal Reserve adjourns its June meeting. The chairman, Jeremy Powell, will announce any changes to the interest rates at the press conference at 2 p.m. EST time. We also have Governor Waller's speech. So we have a lot going on this week, to say the least. I've dropped the link for this article in the chat on YouTube. So if you want to really dig into, if you're involved in the cryptocurrency markets right now, I would very much recommend going into this article, reading through what's happening this week, and do a little bit more research on every single one of these topics, because it's going to be volatile, it's going to be exciting, and you need to be prepared. So this is a brilliant article by the team at Crypto Saving Expert. Really plans out the week well. We can also see what's going on Friday here as well. So we are going to hear a Governor Waller speech talking about financial stability and macroeconomic policy. So it will be an interesting one, and we will have the future of macroeconomic policy in Norway, and traders will be listening to Governor Waller for any clues on the Fed's plans for further increases in interest rates this year. So make sure to check out this article. This, if anything has ever happened so important, this is the article. If you've not been to cryptosavingexpert.com before, this is the article that should make you go there. It's a very big article. It's going to be a very big week in crypto, and you need to be prepared, and this article will help prepare you for this. Now, we've got 3 minutes left before my meeting with the team, so let's take a look at what's going on with the price of Bitcoin here. we can see we have created this level of support here at the $25,633 level. I would also say that support runs all the way down to the $25,350 level. If we take a look at the daily chart here, we have a major level of previous resistance at this point here at 25,300. So that's exactly where we've been wicking down to. I'm hoping this previous level of resistance will act as a support and help us hold this level. And if it does so, I'm feeling really good about this. It's a really strong previous level of resistance, so I believe it should be a really strong level of support for us right now. We can see here that on the daily chart, we are in a downtrend right now. We are seeing lower highs and lower lows. We have seen a lot of people. Let's get rid of some of these lines. We will bring them back. If we take rid of these lines across here, you can see we have had a descending wedge being built here. So if we take a look at the highs over here, let's get this drawn on correctly. Oh, chaos is going on here. And we also have this level of support here as well. If we take a look at this, we've been looking at this for a while now on this channel. We need to hold this level of support, and if we continue to do so, a descending wedge does have a higher probability of breaking to the upside than to the downside. So I'm still feeling positive in this downtrend until we see a breakout. We won't know which direction we're going into. So to stay up to date with what's happening with the price of Bitcoin, with the latest cryptocurrency news, give us a like, give us a follow, subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all back here tomorrow at 11 a.m. BST time talking about the latest cryptocurrency news. Thank you all very much for tuning in, and don't forget to give us that last like before we end today's stream. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.